Good morning and welcome to Schneider Time. We won't take very long today, but I'm going to be honest with you. Today's going to be a little bit real, a little bit serious. I want to talk about transition and change. It's not an easy thing to go from who you are to who you're going to become. That's kind of a nebulous way of phrasing it, but there's no good way to describe it. It's a hard process transitioning from child to adult. Remember, I told you before that you are all adults with training wheels. You're not children anymore. You're adults with training wheels. It's time to learn to be an adult. And it's a long process to transition from one to the other. It's a long process to transition from a selfish person to a selfless person. It's a long transition to go from being easily angered to calm. And sometimes in a transition, you get stuck. My wife and I have been married for don't screw it up now, Schneider, for 13 years, and there have been times in our life together, we have felt like we've been stuck in a transition for a lot of reasons. And we'd get some traction, things would be going good, we'd make some good changes for our physical or emotional health, and then a tragedy would strike. And I kind of got into this last week, talking about how to handle bad things. We bought a house early in our marriage, like before we were married even. I bought a house and I moved in and we set up house there once we got married. And we realized after a few years wasn't a great place probably for kids. So we tried selling it, couldn't sell it. My job was a little bit tenuous. I got laid off a few times. And so we couldn't find a good time to sell the house. Finally, we sold it, ended up renting from my brother for like almost 8 months, and then finally found a house to buy, bought the house, found out that basically the month prior to buying the house, we were in negotiations to buy the house, found out my wife's, she had a tumor basically right below her brain, and we've been managing it with drugs. We found out that the drugs weren't working, the tumor was growing, and she had to have brain surgery. And just all this happening all at once. And it was a lot. And it felt like it took us years to kind of come out of that. You know, she had a lot of physical transition she had to do, was recovering from the condition she had, and then kind of recovering from some of the post-operative stuff. And so, last year we were feeling like, yeah, we're coming out of this. We're doing good. And then we got pregnant. We were excited to have our third kid, probably our last kid. And then back in June, we lost the baby. And so it kind of feels like, we make a little bit of progress and then something bad happens. And a little bit of progress and something bad happens. And it's tough. And so you feel like you're stuck sometimes. You're stuck in a weird transition moment. And so I'm right now, I'm trying to, we're both handling it in different ways. And I'm not trying to get too personal today because it's my life, and you don't need to know about my life because you've got your own lives to worry about. But I'm just trying to give you some examples from my own experiences. So right now, I've realized that I have, for the second time in my life, I've reached my heaviest weight, about 360 pounds. And so it's concerning, right? So I've been working out, trying to lose weight, get healthier. Plus, working out offers so many other side benefits to mental and emotional health, and I think it's an important thing given the nature of life in 2020 to kind of exercise some demons through exercise. But I've been doing it now for almost a month, and I'm seeing really no results, and I feel like I'm stuck in a transition. And this whole idea came to me about a week ago. I was driving my older daughter Emma, and I forget where we were going. We were driving around Bethalto, and we came across a tree. Insert picture here. We came across a tree that was both green and yellowy orange. And Emma said, wow, that tree is kind of stuck in the change, isn't it? It's not sure if it's spring or fall, or something to that effect. And I literally stopped the car at a stop sign, pulled my phone out and took a picture of that tree. I thought, there's some wisdom in there. Way to go, 10-year-old. Guys, sometimes it's natural just to feel stuck. Part of you is changing, part of you has changed, and part of you is lagging behind. And it feels like, where am I in this? And if that's where you're at, if sometimes you act like you're in junior high, sometimes you act like you're in high school, and sometimes you actually act like you're an adult. I want to encourage you to keep moving forward. Just lean in to those mature moments. Think about how you, it's a great phrase I learned in college called metacognition. Think about how you're thinking. Think about how you're feeling and trying to kind of like explore and unpack those really good moments. And like what fuels those? Did you get extra sleep that night? Did you eat a better breakfast that morning? Did you lay off the Rockstar energy drink / poisons? What did you do that helped facilitate those really good moments? And lean into that and help kind of push yourself over the hump and make that change from child to adult. It's not easy, guys, and that's why I share some of my own story. Not to, I don't need you guys to emotionally validate me. I share my story for you guys to understand that this is real life. It doesn't just magically get easier when you become an adult. You have to consciously sometimes just push yourself forward to move from a bad place to a good place to a better place. And sometimes you get stuck. And it's so easy to give up and roll downhill. I can't say how many people I know who've tried to quit smoking or quit drinking, and they do really well, and then things get tough, and they're not quite there yet onto that good side or that great side. And it's that weird good middle point, and they just give up and fall backwards. And I want you to understand that the temptation to do that, to just give up and say, you know what, this is who I am. I have to be comfortable with who I am. And there's a lot of easiness that comes with that. But if I can say one thing to you guys this week, it would be that when you're stuck in the transition, push forward to the future. Do not look back longingly and say, it's easier back there. Yeah, it was easier, but it was worse. It's easy to be my weight. I could just buy some bigger shirts, buy some bigger jeans, and just lean into it and eat a pizza every night. But I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to die before I'm 40. I'm 36, by the way. I'll be 37 in 2 months. I want to, I don't want to shortchange my future because I was too lazy to be healthy in the present. I want to make long-term choices for long-term success. That's one of the first things I told you guys in this video series. Adults are supposed to sacrifice the present in order to gain rewards in the future. And I've not been great at that in various aspects of my life. And so that's what I have to kind of recommit myself to doing. So I'm repeating myself a lot today because I know that it takes hearing the same idea from different angles numerous times before you can truly internalize that knowledge. So again, I'm laying it out there for you guys. Life does not start over when you leave high school. The life you have started now is the life you'll continue to lead then. And the bad habits you have allowed to remain in your life now will only be harder to remove later on. So start now, make long-term choices for long-term success, and lean into the moments of maturity, lean into those good moments, and hopefully you'll figure out how to fuel more of them, and all of a sudden you'll see that transition happening so much more quickly. So that's all I got for you guys today. Have a good day and a good weekend. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.
I struggle with forward motion. I struggle with forward motion. We all struggle with forward motion. 'Cause forward motion is harder than it sounds.
Had to pause for a plane to fly over the school.
Myself around again.